Hey all, thank you for joining me today. In this video, we're making a Samus from Metroid articulated figure by Open Figure 3D. Now, I will say this file is available on printables for free. Check the links in the description below. And I'm going to start off by saying this was an amazing, wonderful build. I'm a massive gamer, and Metroid is a game I haven't played too much, but I did like Metroid Dread and the first Metroid when it came out on the SNES a few years ago, or NES, sorry. Just so you know, the filament used in this is Overture Gold PLA, Sunlu Orange PLA, Sunlu Silver, Esun Pet G Black, and Overture Green Silk and Red Silk Gold PLA. But with all that being said and done, let's crack on with the rest of this video. Now, as we get onto the support removal for the Pet G, there isn't much support removal at all really. It's just a lot of stringing due to having wet filament. I'm using a lighter now just to burn off those stringy, snaggly bits. And if you know, do 3D printing, you know wet filament is not great for printing and it leaves this stringy material on the outside. So it's just simply burning this off. Not much to it, but yeah, this is what I'm doing. Now we're coming to the support removal for the helmet and chest pieces, and the filament. If you might have seen my 3-in-1 game box, I'm using the Overture Silk Red and Gold PLA, which I absolutely love. Now the supports using tree supports, and they came off really easy, quite fairly smooth. It wasn't too much to it, and the design process is absolutely amazing. Open Figure 3 did an amazing job with this design. I'll split up because this whole video would have been a 2-hour video of me removing supports, but yeah, as you can see, there's not many to remove, just these little tiny bits within the vents. But other than that, they came off quite simple and it wasn't too difficult. Same with the gold bits. I used the brim just for adhesion. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of using brim if you don't need to, or rafts, but for whatever reason, over the last, I guess, 2 prints, I'm having real struggles with adhesion on my Bambula P1S build plate. Let me know in the comments if you're having similar issues, or maybe just because I overuse it. I've put in thousands of hours now printing, not just for videos, but just for myself and the other things that I make. And yeah, the adhesion has been a bit of an issue. I was tempted to use glue sticks, but trying to avoid that. And the hand cannon came off really nicely. You can print this in parts, and a lot of the pieces, some come in solid parts, some come in 2 parts. As you can see, like the gold bits, they were 2 halves, but you can print them in 1 solid piece, same as the hand cannon. I decided to do the 1-part piece just to make it easier, and it's worked. And like I said, yeah, this was a beautiful design. So I am a massive gamer, but unfortunately Metroid is one of those games I haven't delved too much in. I played Castlevania, so I know where the term Metroidvania comes from. Like I said, I played Metroid Dread. I am liking the new Prince of Persia game, which is really great. I know this isn't a game review, but I'm just letting you know my gaming history. Going back to these orange pieces, there was a lot of these, as you can tell, the armor. I was trying to find a color PLA what matched it as perfectly as I could. It was a bit difficult. I didn't have any orange which was identical to it, but this came out really well. This worked fine for what I needed to do. These are the shoulder bits. Now the instructions are absolutely amazing. There's a PDF attachment when you download it. I'm following it as I'm doing this now. I'm just peeling off all the supports, and I'm gonna go step by step of how I did it. And it was a really great build. So yeah, I'll let you crack on with the rest of the video. Now, as always, the fun bit, the assembly. So with the green visor placed into the helmet, it wasn't too difficult, but it was too big. I scaled them up all, and I will mention this is at 200% scale, this Samus, so double the size of what the normal print is. So I did have to use a lighter to melt it and chip it off, which I didn't film, unfortunately, and I do end up cracking that helmet there. So I do reprint the visor and the helmet again, and the one you see in the Glamour shots, isn't this one here. But I think it's just due to the scale of everything that this is a beautiful figure. The articulation, the details, the design came out amazingly. Like I said, because I printed at 200% scale, I really wanted to showcase and see that detail in a larger volume. I'm following the instructions, and in the instruction it does say where to glue and where things can be friction fitted. But I think because I did such a large scale, I do end up gluing a lot of the pieces. Not too many, just a few pieces where you probably don't need as much glue. So as you'll see later on, where the swivel bit in the forearm bicep is, I end up gluing that because it was just too loose and it kept falling out, which you'll see later on. Now, this is where the problems really start to begin for me. When it comes to the joints, there are two types. There are curved bits and sort of straight bits. I printed extras of all of them because I knew I would mess up, and I do, I'll be honest. So putting on these hip joint bits were fine for one side, but I crack it twice, 3 times. I'm using the lighter now just to make it a bit more malleable. Cracked it there 4th time, and yep, cracked it there 5th time. It's broken. I do end up reprinting these in PLA, and these are the joints. These were a nightmare. This video is sped up and shortened to 10 minutes. Just getting the joints on took me almost an hour. This lighting bit was a process to keep lighting it, squeezing it, lighting it, pushing it, lighting it, pushing it. Just to squeeze it in. I don't know why. Everything else was just working smooth, but when it came to putting these joints in, it took a lot of effort, a lot of force. In fact, I'm just sort of using the clippers now to smooth out that hole. Off camera, I used the hammer once just to smash it on top, just to slide it back in. So I'm just making it more malleable so it fits in. But one joint, there you go, you can see the right leg is a lot more looser than the left one, and it's same with the arm. Like the Canon arm ends up being a bit looser, and the arm with the hand ends up being a bit tighter, and it's just because when I melted it, yeah, I just made it a bit too soft and a bit too smooth, but that's my fault. Putting it together now, this is beautiful. The size is great. Oh, I absolutely love this model. It couldn't get any better. Also, this top bit for the neck, when I printed the all-in-one piece, it didn't have the divots which allowed the shoulder joints to fit in. So I reprinted it in the split version, and it had the 2 side divots on it, so that worked. Here's that helmet again, reprinted, the one was not broken, and one of these 5, I guess, leg hip joints is made of PLA, and the other one's PETG because I ran out of PETG when I broke so many of them. But putting it together was super simple, and the instructions are great. And look, this is a perfect model. What a great figure. And it also comes with 2 hands, an open hand and a closed hand. I couldn't get the open hand back out after I put it in, and I was too scared of breaking it and doing this all over again. But thank you as always for sticking to the end of the video and spending your time with me. I appreciate it so much. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. But with all that being said and done, it's time to get onto the animation / glamour shots. Let's go!